Hey guys, all right, I decided I'm going to show you, this is going to be a really weird video. I'm going to show you my spreadsheet that I have that contains the list of all of the Kenseth cars that I've made or bought or plan to make. And so just to kind of go over the file, because this is basically my, my collection. This reflects my collection, and some of the cars have been bought, made from different decals from different sources, that type of thing. But what I've tried to do is identify all of the major paint schemes that Matt Kenseth has drove in his Cup and Busch Series Nationwide Xfinity career, and I've listed them on this in this file. I've learned over the years that this is probably a 10-year-old file in the making. I've learned over the years that there's various things that I've missed, and as I go back and watch races on YouTube and see different paint schemes and things like that, I say, oh yeah, I forgot about that one, or yeah, I don't have that one, I got to make that one, that type of thing. So I'm always kind of going through the process and seeing cars that I haven't made that I should make, and the like. But I wanted in this video to kind of show you where I'm at, and also to show you that I've sent some cars over to the Kenseth family, really Matt Kenseth's sister at the end of the day, and those that I have packaged up that I'm ready to send, and then I'll show you the 4 cars that are the bane of my existence, because decals are not available. They're complicated paint schemes, and I haven't made them, and I don't see them available, and it really frustrates me. So if there's any way you guys could help me with those 4 paint schemes, that would be awesome. But at the end of the day, those are the 4 main ones that I'm missing, that I have to create, whether I make the decals myself or have somebody make them or whatever. Or it would be awesome if Pato made them available, and then I could buy them and make them myself. So I'll try to go through this relatively quickly, because I know there's a lot of cars here, and it is time consuming. But this is the 2020 section. So if you can see here, this is all the 2020 cars that I've seen so far, different ones, right? His credit one car that he drove at Darlington, his credit one car that he drove. Or that is a Darlington car that he drove on May 21st, slightly different than the one he drove on May 17th, that kind of thing. Then you got the McDelivery car that was a Memorial car. You have the McDonald's one he drove at Bristol. You have a McDelivery one that he drove at Talladega. Slightly different sponsors there on the side and on the back. You got the Clover car that he just drove at the Daytona Road Course, New Hampshire and Kentucky. And then you got the McDelivery All-Star car that he drove at Bristol with the side numbers that were moved back, and had a white roof number. So that's kind of where I'm at with 2020. You can see a bunch of zeros here because I haven't made them, nor have they been for sale. I color these yellow because I have the materials to make these 3 cars. And actually I am making this one this week. So that'll change to a 1 when I'm completed with it. So that's kind of how I do it. As each race comes up, I'll see if it's something that he's already raced. If not, then I add it to this list. So that's kind of where I'm at right there. I may combine these Credit 1 cars because they're all pretty much the same, although his Darlington car was slightly different because there was a driver signature that was taped over his own. I don't really know exactly what that is, but there was something special there. All right. 2018, you can see all of these cars here, a bunch of them, bunch of Wyndham Rewards, the All-Star car. The ones that are black here, I've already made those or had those, and I shipped them off to the Kenseth family. These that are green like this, they're boxed up, ready to go. And so I have a complete collection of 2018, and it's let's see, it's what, 14 cars. So you got the Oscar Mayer car, the Ness in the purple one he drove at Watkins Glen. Roush Performance, the Constancy Sealing Service. So 2018 is a pretty full year. A lot of cars there as he came back and drove for Roush Racing. 2017. Obviously, there was nothing in 2019, so there's nothing there because he didn't drive it all then. 2017, I've got a total of 20 cars. 18 of them have already shipped over to the Kenseth family, and then the 2 that haven't, that I've got boxed up and ready to go, are the Circle K Memorial with SPC Schaefer on it that he drove in the Coca-Cola 600, and then the Circle K Phoenix win that has Take It Easy on the backside. And yeah, so all of these other ones are all done. The Interstate Batteries car with John 316, I Am Second on the back. That was one of my favorites. You've got the Toyota American Red Cross. I love Sirius XM radio. He drove that Sirius XM car in the round of 16 in the playoffs with the lime green. That was so cool. Made that one, shipped that one off. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. The Xfinity Team USA car they drove in Texas. That was cool. So you can see, got a big number of 2017 cars that have already gone out. 2016, full collection here of 10 cars. And the Dollar General scheme and the one Tide car, and then you've got some DeWalt cars, Flex Volt cars. Now in 2015, you see a couple cars over here for the Xfinity. These were the last Xfinity races that he ever raced in, with the Rezzers Main Street Bistro, and then the Rezzers regular Toyota one that he drove in 3 races. The other 2015 cars in Cup, I just have 7 of them, and you can see these here. Dollar General, DeWalt Made in the USA, with the Stars banner, one he drove to Bristol. So all of those cars are done and shipped off. 2014. So here I've got 11 cars. Probably my favorite is the this Home Depot 15 years of racing at Talladega that he drove. He finished second in that race. That was cool. All of those are boxed up and gone. 2014 was the last year he drove a bunch of GameStop cars. So you can see all these GameStop cars over here. I've got not quite a full collection. I've got 15 cars with 1 missing, and that's this red. So if I'm missing it, it's red. It's a problem. I don't have it. Sometimes you'll see a little highlight here of the 1. That just means I've sent the cars over to the Kenseth family, but I think I can make a nicer one. I have the car I sent wasn't top quality, and so I think in the future, down the road, if I ever get to the point where I can get these decals again and make them, I can ship them off to them and give them a better car for their collection. But GameStop was cool, but every stinking race was a new paint scheme, and it drove me crazy. So the 1 car I'm missing here, I've got all these done, is the Shadow of Mordor car. And I'll pull up the picture. It's not that one. Right there. So this Shadow of Mordor car, Pato doesn't sell the decals, and that's a very complicated paint scheme, as you can see. Ridiculously complicated, if I want to do justice to it. So that's a gap. It's just a massive sucking chest wound gap in my collection that I would love to fill. So that's that one. Some cool ones there. You got the Rock Candy one where he won at Homestead, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. All these GameStop cars are cool. Then you had the Sun Energy one where he had the pearl orange rims. Just really cool paint schemes that he drove in 2014. All right, 2013. You got a bunch of cars here, Dollar General primarily, 9 of them total. Probably the most popular is this 500 start, the silver and black Husky one that he drove at New Hampshire, and he won the race in his 500 start. Just a terrific car. Could not believe Lionel didn't make that car. That was insane. But I've made a number of those for collectors. They're always high demand cars just because it's rare and you can't find it anywhere. in 164. So here's the GameStop cars and a couple Reser cars that he drove in 2013 in the Nationwide series. One of my favorites is this Afterglow paint scheme that was kind of a, the Afterglow controller, and it had black with blue on it at Chicago. That was really cool. And then he drove this Call of Duty Ghost car. But the one I'm missing here is this Battlefield 4, and I'll show you that picture. The Battlefield 4 car is right there. I don't have a good picture of the side of it. There's another picture kind of the top, but you can see how complicated that paint scheme is. It's dark, it's light here, there's a transition here where it's kind of light and then dark in the center of the roof. You've got massive graphics on the hood and on the front. I mean, it's just super complicated paint scheme. Man, I would love to get the decals for that one. That would be terrific. But yeah, just another paint scheme that I don't have. Here's a YouTube video of them wrapping the car. Man, if somebody could make that decal set, I would. You know what? I'd probably pay. I've said this before to other people. I'd probably pay $100 to get that paint scheme, those decals for those, and possibly even more, just because it's a sucking chest wound in my collection, and I don't have it, and it drives me crazy to not have that paint scheme. Another cool one here was this Cabela's African Adventures. It's kind of a brown GameStop car. Pato offers the decals. I've made a few of those. Those are really rare. I think I sold one to a guy in France one time on eBay. He won the auction. It was like $40 some for that. But that's a super rare car. Okay, 2012 was his last year as he was driving for Roush Racing. A number of cars there have already shipped off, 12 of them total. You've got some of the Ford EcoBoost cars. You've got the Nesson National one he drove in New Hampshire. He won the Daytona 500 that year. So yeah, so a lot of cars there. And I didn't say this in the beginning, but if you see this kind of green text with the yellow, that means I got the decals from Pato and I made the car. If it's not, if it's just regular black with the white background, it's something that you can buy from Lionel and readily available. And so yeah, that's the difference there in my paint scheme here. 2011, I've got 11 cars here and then just one in the Xfinity series, or actually Nationwide series. That particular one was the Fastenal Mustang that he subbed in for Trevor Bayne and won the race at Charlotte. Kind of a one-off last-minute thing. And so that Fastenal Mustang is rare, number 16 car. But he drove, Crown Royal. This was the last year with Crown Royal. So I have a number of these cars. He had the Ollie's Bargain Outlet, the Fluid Master at Charlotte, where he won the race. They call it Toilet Car. You've got the Jeremiah Weed car. So yeah, so a lot of cool cars in 2011. 2010, in the Cup Series, I've got 8 cars. This was the first year of Crown Royal sponsorship and Jeremiah Weed. So a lot of rare cars there. In the Nationwide series, he drove a coupons.com car twice and a World Financial Group car. So those are pretty rare. 2009, this is the last year of DeWalt. 7 cars I've got there. And, most of them were available, but I was able to make some with the hood open cars because of the they were the COT, and they made the hood open ones. So I did some upgrades to those. Carhartt, USG Sheetrock, R&L Carriers is a hood open. RNCarriersGlobal.com. That was a pretty rare scheme that he drove in the Daytona Coke Zero. My third sucking chest wound is this 2009 Ritz car. I'll show you that one. Just close these out here real quick. 2009 Ritz, available in a 124 scale, but not in 164. Decals are not available. Doesn't look like an overly complicated paint scheme, and you just have the red with the yellow, but the decals are not available. And I could probably piece some decals together to try to make it, but it would be a little complicated because you've got just some weird things. You got these like white crackers on the side and a white cracker on the trunk. But anyways, that is a car that's missing. The 124 car matches this one pretty well, but it's not perfect. So, but anyways, I'm looking for this in 1/64 scale, and they don't sell it. So it's a problem. So that's why that's red. The other 2009 car he drove was a City Financial car. Actually, I'm making one of those, number 16 car. 2008, a lot of cars here. I've got 11 of them total. One of the popular ones was the Dish Network Dish DVR car that he drove in the Bristol Spring Race. He drove some number 17 cars, the Valvoline car, the Arby's car, the City Financial car, and the Kraft Ritz car in 2008. In the I think this was in the Nationwide Daytona car. My last sucking chest wound. So that one looks like this. So if you remember, he drove that one. What's interesting is, again, it's not available. Don't have the decals. Very difficult paint scheme to make. You got the red, you got the flames, you got the blue. A little tiny transition of purple to the red on the back. But yeah, that's one I'm missing. But when you look at the if you look at this is a picture of the 124 scale. You can see all the purple here. See all the purple there? That's not the same as the car, right? So you see all this purple from basically covers the full 7 on the roof. But when you look at the actual car on the racetrack, it's all blue. There's a tiny, tiny bit of purple on here, right there, a little bit here, but most of it is all blue. So I'm looking for this, right? I'm looking to match this, not the 164 car. I'm looking to match this one. There's another image of Getty's image. So decal's not available. It sucks. It just sucks. That's the ones I don't have. All right, let me pick it up here. So 2007, I've got a bunch of cars. 15 total with the COT, DeWalt's, Carhartt, Arby's, DeWalt Nano, the COT. Remember, it was a mix of COTs and regular. The DeWalt Nano Confetti, car that he won the very last race at Homestead that year. In the Busch Series, Nationwide Series, I believe, you got the Arby's, I-Level, the Dish Network, and then the rare Roush Fenway FW Web car that he drove, I think, at New Hampshire. Half-flat cars readily available. So those are all done. 2006 and 2005 are two kind of years that I have problems with because you can get the regular cars, the DeWalt, the Sheetrock, the Carhartt cars, the Post car, but there's a lot of other little paint schemes, kind of secondary paint schemes that he drove, like the DeWalt car. He had some different sponsors, Trex on the trunk and Arnell carriers on the rear that I want to make. And so you see some zeros here because I want to make those cars. Like they had the orange 17 on the roof. I think they were still doing like the no bowl races. So that's why I got to make a few there. There's a Carhartt car with an orange 17 on the roof that he drove at Charlotte. So you'll see some of those. But I've got the main ones, but I just don't have these other ones that I do want to make. In the Nationwide Series, he drove Pennzoil Platinum, AmeriQuest Mortgage, and the AmeriQuest Soaring Dreams. Those are all available. 2005 here, I'm going through what I have, and that's what I have right there. I got 7 cars, and just your regular DeWalt cars, USG Sheetrock, Trex, Carhartt. In the Busch Series, he drove the Pennzoil Platinum number 9 car, and then he also drove the Waste Management car, but I'm thinking that's almost exactly the same as the 2004 car, so I may not, there may not be a big difference. I may not make that one or have that one in my collection because it's virtually the same. There might be some small, fender decals that are different from 2004 to 2005, but I'm content without having it in my collection just yet. 2004, I've kind of gone over these. I've actually showed the video of the cars themselves. You can see what I've got here. I'm missing the Smirnoff Ice 2004 car where he has Silicon 2 on the rear bumper. I need to make that one. But I've got 8 cars or 7 cars plus one I need to make, and then all the different nationwide cars that he had in 2004. There's 9 of them that I'm tracking. 2003 championship season, terrific year. 11 of them I've got. The Smirnoff one is probably my popular one. You got the DeWalt Smirnoff Ice. You got the Carhartt one. Great to have that one in the collection. And then over here I've got 9 in the Nationwide series. I think it was still Nationwide in 2003. And might have been the Busch series. I'm not sure when they switched from Busch series to Nationwide. But yep, so that's 2003, 2002. I've got a few more I want to make here. A couple, the one that I went to Richmond in and saw that race and he won. I want to make that particular one. At Michigan, he drove with a white Carhartt logo on the hood. Well, a white banner with Carhartt. I want to make that one. It's not critical that I make it because it was still the DeWalt circular, saw blade regular car. But just something unique for Michigan where he first got sponsored by Carhartt. I want to make that one. And then I'm making this $1 million challenge with the black roof 17, the black spoiler that he won at Phoenix. And then you got the 3 Janiking cars in the Busch series. 2001, I've got all these cars here, 7 of them. The flag car being the most important car there. You've got some post 9/11 cars with the flag on the trunk, and then the professional bull Riders Challenge car that he drove at Atlanta. Got that one. And then some Visine cars. You got the regular blue Visine, the green one, and then you've got the United We Stand one. 2000, a lot of cars here, 11 of them. These 3 at the bottom here were the ones where they Racing Champions came out with this pit crew with sound, the little display, and one was a silver car, one was a regular 24-volt car, and then one was just this regular DeWalt car that you push a little button and gave a little sound. I've got all 3 of those. Pretty cool. And then I'm working on my Visine A for 2000 series or 2000 year, and then you got the black Visine. So I've got a couple I've got to do there for the year 2000. All right, now we're getting way back there. 1999, he drove the Interstate Batteries car for Bobby Labonte, broke his shoulder. He had some runs with DeWalt, with Roush Racing, just a few of them. One he had the Skills USA on, and so yeah, I've got a few of those. In the Busch series, he drove the DeWalt Chevy car, and so a lot of those are available. I've got a gold one that I pulled from a transporter combination box, so that's pretty rare. 1998, he drove 2 cars. He drove the Peterbilt number 60, tried to qualify at Talladega, didn't work out for him. And then he also filled in very popularly for Bill Elliott, whose father died at Dover, and I think he finished 6th in that race or something crazy. So that car's pretty rare, although one of my problems with that car is the actual car that you can buy is not the same paint scheme as what he drove. And so if I ever get to the point where I can get that paint scheme in 1/64 scale, I'll make that car. And then there was a gold one that was available, and I've got that one too. In 98, he drove a bunch of Chevy Lycos cars, his first win at Rockingham. I've got that one where he was unsponsored. Let me move over a little bit here because the rest of these are all Busch Series cars. And then you've got a handful of 1998 cars where you got Lycos, Lycos.com, and your personal internet guide. So I need to look at these cars, watch some more videos, and just make sure I've got the major paint schemes for those, because there were some different ones that he raced around in 98. And then in 97, this is pretty crazy. Pato's made a lot of these decals available for sale. He had a Kraft singles car, right, in '97, but then he had multiple secondary sponsors like Stater Brothers, U-Crops, Safeway, Red. There was a Kroger that was red lettering, Pick and Save, Acme, Food Lion, Lanico, a Kroger one that was blue. So a lot of different Kraft singles cars that I want to make with the different sponsorships on the side. And so yeah, I've been watching those races, looking at Pato's decals. I've got a few of them in stock that I've got to make. But yeah, a lot of fun. I got to get after those. You can see I've sent a few of them off to the Kenseth family, including the 1996 unsponsored Carl Wegner Chevy number 55 that he drove at Charlotte in the Red Dog 300 for his very first Busch Series race. So total, I've got 83 Nationwide / Busch cars and Xfinity now. As you can see, I've got a few to make. My Cup car totals is 200. So, and then I've got the 3, right, that actually I'm not counting these 3 here that I should. So my total is 286 cars. If you add up all my little zeros, I've got 28 of them left to buy or make. So for a grand total of 314 cars for a complete collection, which is my goal, and I'm 91% complete. So that's basically it. I say I've got 28 to make. 4 of those, as you recall, are ones where it's just a gap, sucking chest wound, that for years I've not been able to get those decals. And it pains me to say that they're gaps, but before I go on to heaven and see Jesus, I want to be able to make these cars. That's definitely on my bucket list. So yeah. So again, that's the 2008 Kraft Ritz car, 2009 Kraft Ritz car, the number 17s. I have those actually in 124 scale, but I want to make them in 164 scale. And then the GameStop Battlefield 4 car in 2013, and the GameStop Shadow of Mordor car in 2014. I'm sorry, the Battlefield 4 was 2013, and this one's 2014. I have, outside of those 4, I have all the other paint schemes ready to go. And I'm saying that because I assume that all of these later ones that he's driving this year will be either available from Lionel, or I'll be able to make them from Pato's decals. And you can see Pato's offering all of these decals right now, so it's not going to be a problem to get those and to have them in the collection. It's just a matter of getting them, making them, and add them to the collection. So, well, guys, I'm out of breath. Let me get a drink here. But that's my collection, and this is my spreadsheet that I keep track of all this stuff on. Yeah, that's what I've been going after for the last 10 years, and I continue to go after it because I want to be able to provide the Kenseth with a replica of every major race or paint scheme that Matt's driven in his Cup career and in his Busch Series career. So yeah, excited to do that. I hope they're appreciative of it at the end of the day, but that's where I'm at. Lot of information, kind of a different video for you, not too exciting, but that's what I've got, guys. So God bless you, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon in the next video.